Hello and welcome to the B Button. I'm your host Baron Marf, and I'm joined by my bestest buddy, Paolo, friend of mine. It's Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah?
Same as always, really.
Same old, same old. Been
Pretty
doing much waxing of the games this week?
Not a great deal. Obviously, still plodding on through the crew.
How's that going?
Slowly. There's just so much shit to do in it. It really is. I don't think I'm ever going to get it all done, to be honest. It's just tedious at times.
So there's like a sale on at the moment, isn't there? And
well, it's just finishing up. But
yeah, and you've got the Wild Hunt and the Season Pass, both for $10 each.
Yeah.
Tempted at all, were you?
Well, I was pissed off because I bought the Wild Hunt a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, right, okay.
So that really pissed me off. The Season Pass is just cars. So I can give a shit about them. I ain't got the money to buy the cars that I can already get. So it's just like, yay, pay £10 to not have more cars.
To know of more cars you can't have.
Basically, yeah, that I can't afford to buy.
Awesome. Anything else?
Diablo 3.
Yeah. How's that going?
Yeah, I haven't played it much last few days, but started up a couple of characters. Started a barbarian. Yeah. It's hilarious once you get frenzy.
Yeah.
It's just hammer, and oh right, you're going to go faster, even better.
Punch.
Yeah, get like a
yeah.
couple of small blades and you're going mental really quick. It's hilarious. And the monk just unlocked one of the upgrades of one of their skills, and it's the cyclone, and it's just like, welcome to my fiery flame of wind of death. It's hilarious.
Nice.
And it's just completely just gank people up with that at the moment.
So how you getting on with Diablo generally? You feeling it?
I think it's still sort of slow burning. I can see it being something that I can't play for a lot of. I'm not going to sort of mash through for a week at a time.
Yeah.
Because it's very much single sort of gameplay. There's obviously once you've obviously unlock different skills and bits like that, but it's a loot grinding game. So it's one of those.
I like the fact they split the loot, so like you can't see my loot and I can't see yours. So you don't end up like fighting against your mates. Old squirrel nutkins, Kia, you know who you are.
It's no sort of right. I'm going to go steaming in to get all the best stuff that drops. So there is that. That's good. But no, it's a good game. It's solid. It's like I said, it's just a case of just sort of carrying on through it and cracking on, really.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. I just have a few crappy mobile games.
Yeah.
Just just something just to play whilst you're having a shit sort of thing.
Whilst you're waiting for Pokemon Go to come out.
Well, again, I can't really give a fuck about that, to be honest.
Didn't give a shit.
No.
I've not been doing a lot. I've just been on Force Unleashed mostly.
Yeah. And carrying on from last week.
Yeah, and a little bit of another item that we're going to come up to in a bit. So, talking of which, let's shift on over to our Bullet Bills Big 3.
Yeah, I think it'd be best.
Let's do this. Blow, blow, blow. It's Bullet Bills Big 3, baby. Yeah. And first on the news items for this week, the first bullet hole, if you will, is what, Link?
Another update for the game that just will not die.
It's not another GTA update, is it?
It is indeed. Well, we've known this is due for some time. Obviously, they released all of this info. Well, not all of the info, but they released the news that they're going to be doing this update around this sort of time. But yeah, we've got the Cunning Stunts GTA Online update.
Make sure you say it right.
Yeah, set fast 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's dropping on the 12th of July. So I don't know if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out. You'll get obviously a fair bit more of info as to what you can expect. But it's a case of crazy tracks, a hell of a lot of new cars by the looks of it. So obviously to go through a few that we've seen in the trailer, we've got like some Fiat 500 Abarth lookalike thing.
Yeah, man.
So a little pocket rocket. We've obviously got the original Audi Quattro.
Yeah.
Like the old Group B rally car style.
Gave me that kind of like plaster it in Rothman sort of paint.
Yeah.
Kind of
oh
feel.
yeah. This is the kind of thing that got banned back in the 70s and the 80s.
Awesome.
We've got like a Lance's Stratos looking thing.
Yeah, boy.
And then we've also got like obviously, did you see Ken Block's latest Hoonigan video in Top Gear?
No.
Where he blasted around London in his old Mustang.
No, I didn't.
It just looks ridiculous. It's hilarious, that thing.
But they got one of those.
So it's looking like, yeah. We've got like a McLaren F1 look-alike, but
Really?
like a proper race-looking thing. Another sort of Toyota FT1 concept, like Le Mans car thing, which could be the new fastest car in the game. There's a couple of like Dakar trucks and another Dakar-style dirt bike, so it's just an upgraded Sanchez basically. And then there's like a Harley-style sort of cruiser, but with a better combination of suspension and tyres. So there's a fair few bits, but obviously we'll know everything that comes out obviously on the 12th, which is the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like traditional sort of Grand Theft Auto update days.
The only thing that I've noted down under all of this is the tracks reminded me of something out of the Green Lantern movie. You know, it's that whole sort of like, I'm going to put like a pinball track sort of style loops floating up in the air. It looks pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely that. It's basically GTA's take on Trackmania.
Yeah, I mean, it almost had a bit of a Micro Machines feel. I saw some like cars flying through the air doing stunts and shit. Yeah. Spinning, loops and all that.
Well, it's something that people do obviously on their own and accord, isn't it, when you're doing races, and you see some of these user-created ones where people have actually done those kinds of races but utilise or manipulating the restrictions that the editor obviously has.
Yeah.
There's some really, really good jump tracks. I've got a few saved onto the account. But no, it looks interesting. I think it adds a bit of injection to the race scene, which has seemed a bit stagnant. I think it might even get you to dip your toe into some racing. Yeah,
possibly, because I'm not a great fan of racing in GTA. I like the shooting, I like the cars, but I'm shit at driving, so yeah.
You sort of, you play to your strengths. Yeah.
Indeed. Cool. So our second bullet hole for this week is a bit of Red Dead Redemption. It's back. We all knew it was coming back, and here it is, and we've all downloaded it and got back on it.
Well, again, it was in the sale, wasn't it? So a lot of people
snagged it. So a while ago, I was hyper excited, jumped onto a podcast and went, yeah, get it, go to this person's account, download it, we've done the acid test and it works. And then we tried running it and it didn't work, and Microsoft came out and said, yeah, sorry, we're just testing to see if it would work, and blah, 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 blah. Ever since then, that principle of the matter, so I could return on air like I'm doing right fucking now and say, yeah, well, it does work, and I kept that file, I didn't have to update it, and it did fucking work, so I go back to my original post and say, it works, yeah.
Just a few months late.
Yeah, so I'm not eating that hat, yeah. But either way, sales gone up like 6,000%,
I think
literally.
It's the position that was, it wasn't sales.
Oh, was it? It was position in the charts?
Yeah. Because I think it was just something like 154 or something in the Amazon charts, and it's gone up to like 30th or some shit.
No, I think that what they mean is the fact that they were selling like 2 copies a week before, and now they're selling thousands because everybody wants to play it again. But yeah, all in all, great game. I'm loving it, and it looks good.
Yeah, apparently it runs a bit better on the Xbox One according to Digital Foundry. But,
I'd fucking argue otherwise, because I've seen some amazing glitches.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've had some slowdown in it fucking within the first 5 minutes of playing it.
Loads of lag, slow down.
But classic.
People pulling horses and they're not there. Just like.
Well, as long as we're not getting to some sort of Assassin's Creed Unity-esque kind of faceless monsters.
For me, the 2 greatest glitches of all time. Assassin's Creed Unity, like that, just for scaring the shit out of people, and it's the horse from The Witcher.
Yeah.
When I got that bit where he stood on that table and that workman was like sanding the table, it looked like it was like doing the like the shoes of the horse, like getting like a manicure. That's it. It had me in tears. Cool. So, did you spend any money on it?
I did.
What did you do?
Oh, what?
On GTA, was it just Red Dead Redemption? Did you just buy it, or was it?
Yeah, no, all of the DLC other than the Undead. I think because gold membership, I think it was about £7.
Yeah, it was cheap.
£6,
super
like that,
cheap.
So, yeah, it's easy purchase, really.
Yeah, I mean, I got the game I had it hard copy for ages. Got the game digitally through like Games with Gold a while ago. And already had these sort of the undead or the undead Nightmare, thank you. Which was cool and great and everything. And then obviously, recently when they've re-announced it, I was like, what DLC am I missing? I was missing like 3 bits, like 69p.
Oh, it's like the Warhorse.
The Warhorse is amazing. I had it before though, and it didn't transfer over. But fuck it, you can have that 69p. Enjoy it just for proving me right.
Because it's worth it. Just because your horse dies, right? I just use my Warhorse certificate again. Yeah, your Warhorse. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
We'll turn the last one into glue. Do you know? It used to do my the amount of times that I used to get the horse. Like obviously playing it the first time through, I just had the standard edition. So obviously when you get the Kentucky Saddler and you break that in, and it's really important because that's a good horse and
high speed,
fucking cougars, man. Mountain lions, you just hear it, you just hear that noise. The same as it is as in GTA 5.
Yeah.
Where you hear that noise, you're like, right, out comes the automatic shotgun. Where are you bastards?
Or on GTA, it's like, where's my Winchester or like Buffalo shotgun?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, if you're lucky, you can get the old Red Dead Eye on and mack him out that way. But I remember I had 2 of them fucking turned up. I'd got one of them. I was like, take that, you schmuck. Just all of a sudden, just snagged his ass in a bear trap and got fucking had off with it. Bastard.
Clever girl.
Yeah.
Cool. So for our third bullet hole, what have we got, Link?
Well, it's again. We do love a bit of speculation.
God, I love a bit of speculation.
And especially
donning a chubby right now.
We've got another new Nintendo patent has emerged. Obviously, it's a patent that's from a couple of years back. It's just obviously someone's trawling through all the patents and looking for.
So this isn't something they've just gone quickly patent this now?
No, it's from a couple of years ago. Well, various parts of it are, because there's some new surround effects. Basically, they've merged or hidden the speakers inside the actual unit itself somehow.
Down the base,
it creates a vibration of some kind. So obviously there's new little bits and bobs to it, but essentially it mainly shows that it's like an updated Game Boy Advance with a touchscreen.
To me, it looked like a 3DS less the top screen.
Yeah, basically.
It was like you still had your D-pad, you still got your circular control pad, you got your 4 buttons. Didn't see any shoulder buttons on it.
No.
Touchscreen.
But the touchscreen, then you'd get maybe the extra buttons in there because you could obviously have a couple just dotted in the bottom.
So is this the NX?
Or is it a component of said NX? Obviously there was the rumours a few weeks back, or before obviously E3, that Nintendo would potentially prime them for a new handheld as well. But again, this could all sort of blend into the NX thing.
Speculation.
So it's all sort of. I mean, do you remember those patents that Nintendo had come up with, that you'd have like a cloud-based sort of server almost, and it would draw power, and you could get a second unit, and it could then merge its 2 powers together and make some sort of Voltron-esque console power machine.
With your powers combined.
Yeah, exactly. You get Captain Planet.
Wind.
Or Captain Nintendo.
Water.
The only thing, I just really hope they keep the NX name. I think that's a cool name.
Yeah. Can I also just go on the record and say that if I was part of the 5 who formed Captain Planet, I'd probably be pretty pissed if I got Heart, because that was like the shittiest power out there. Heart.
Yeah. To be fair, when we were kids, it's because it was pink.
Yeah.
To be fair, would you want to be called Wind? Because you know that guy would probably smell.
Man, anyway, we digress as usual, but yeah, I'm still down on not going for the Heart.
No.
Cool.
So yeah, I think it's a case of just wait and see, really. I think it will be Tokyo Game Show. We'll get some solid, because obviously me and Matey was talking about earlier, the whole reason why they didn't show off the NX at E3 was because they didn't want people stealing their goddamn ideas again.
Good.
But it's not bad, I guess.
They do know they're going to have to launch it sooner or later. They're going to have to show something sooner or later.
I think we should probably be seeing something before Christmas. Like I say, there is the talk of obviously Sony and Nintendo going at each other over Tokyo Game Show. We don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, maybe, but who knows?
Should be settled like the Bill Gates and the Microsoft Sony vendetta and South Park. Just they end up fighting each other and one blows the other one's brains out. Just settle it like that and release your console. Get on with it.
That's it. It should be done that way.
That's
Thunderdome.
Yeah, there we go. I've said it. And on that note, we're going to shift over to our What's the Beef?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's go. I'm vexed and ratty. Ugh. It's the angry sound. What's the beef chief? What is going on? Beating the meat.
I was going to say, it's not just the slightly constipated. Can I have some prunes?
Count it. Cool. So, beef this week, and this is something which is quite near and dear to my heart because I've been fucked a few times on this. Thank you, Battlefield. Games which aren't ready to launch. Games which are launched, which are just riddled with bugs and shit back end. What's the beef, Link?
Well, like you say, it's a case of the biggest problem is now with a lot of the bigger companies is the whole shareholders and the price, and we're going to announce this so we can generate buzz and this will put our share price up and blah blah blah. Yeah, just fucking make a good game. Don't release monstrosities that shouldn't have been released.
Yeah.
And then spend the next 6 months horrendously fucking patching them at a furious rate and breaking more things than you fix and other such bollocks, and just sort
it's got to cost them money because obviously they hire a team to release a game, let's say by Q3 in a particular year, and then they have that team still on staff for another 6 to 12 months later, maybe more than that, just to do DLC and back-end support, and then they end up spending all their time doing back-end support. It's, that's not cheap, man. That's going to be costing them money.
Obviously, it's the various different departments, isn't it? Because essentially that's a code thing.
Yeah,
and you're having to take programmers off of games probably that are really needing those programmers. So yeah, I think it's just a case of there's been some horrendous examples over the years that. I mean, you can go back as like Half-Life 2, the game that's been revered as one of the greatest ever games made. I mean, that was like a shitstorm. Obviously, it's the first game that required Steam to play it. It just was just a broken mess on the back end, and there's the errors, and you couldn't get on because of the DRM bollocks, and if you'd have even bought it, you could preload it. All right, we won't even let you fucking activate it, and all of this shit. So,
but the key bit here is that when you launch, that is going to be the busiest time of your game. You don't get the luxury of a gentle ramp up.
It's not like something like, say, like an Evolve, where it's a new IP and it could be, it might not be, could take a bit of time to get momentum.
Yeah.
When you've got someone like Valve or Blizzard saying, like with Diablo 3 and Half-Life 2 respectively, like these are games that are massively, massively popular. They know for a fucking fact that there's going to be a serious chunk of people like taking time off of work to play these games.
Yeah, and also I get that you may be in the PR bubble, but even if you're pushing a game like Overwatch, you knew how popular Overwatch was going to be, and lo and behold, when they did finally actually release, it was solid. And to be fair to them, the network was sound. You got games.
How long was the beta though?
Yeah, true. But obviously they did something, right in their approach.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those. If it's not ready, it's not ready.
I mean, what we had, Battlefield 3 was just
a mess.
A horrible mess. Like going through the map kind of mess.
I think that the biggest problem with Battlefield 3 was that obviously that was the first one that split the generation, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was the first one where it was on, right, you're now in the press mill, you're going to get one out every was it every other year they do it, or every year? But that was their first, you've got to start hitting a schedule now, every November you're doing one.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we have to beat Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
And lo and behold, the game suffers because of it. And DICE took a lot. I had a lot of respect for DICE up until that, and I lost a lot of it because I used to think they're doing the smarter man's Call of Duty, blah blah, and then.
No, they just do. Basically, again, it's who's to kind of blame at that end. Yeah, it's one of those. Interesting fact about DICE. Never realised though they were the ones. Do you remember like Pinball Fantasy and stuff like that? Pinball Illusion. They made those.
Yeah, man.
That was their first series of games that they released. So it goes from sort of like an Amiga pinball game to making
shooting
one of the biggest first-person shooters of the last 15 years.
Yeah, amazing. Batman. Let's talk about Batman for a second.
Yeah, well, which one? Just specifically the PC version? Or?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Being a console gamer, I'm a bit like, that's your problem. But even I felt it for the PC gamers in that situation. Months I mean, units being recalled off the shelf of shops, you know.
Yeah, thousands upon thousands of refunds been issued. The fact that they just didn't even come up with we don't know, even a preliminary sort of date is just like, we don't know. We're really sorry, but just...
This thing's fucked. This thing's fucked. We can't do anything with it.
It was almost like... Because obviously loads of blame went to Rocksteady, sorry. But they were like, we didn't do the PC one.
Yeah, that's not us.
that's them guys. So go fucking beat at their door.
I mean, the one which has really sort of stimulated this conversation this week is the announcement of Pokemon Go, and it's launched in Australia, really.
Well, you had obviously the soft launch in Australia, wasn't it? They've obviously had the beta going for a bit of time. Then they've released in America this week as well.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what Pokemon Go is, in effect it's a go capture Pokemon...
It's Pokemon, yeah. Do you remember... Well, I'd imagine it come from... Do you remember they did that thing, the Google Map Easter eggs, where they had 151 Pokemon around the map? And you could go and actually find them on Google Maps. You didn't actually have to go there, obviously. It's kind of, I would imagine, spun off from that, because that was massively popular.
It's a bit like geocaching, isn't it?
Yeah, it was totally it. And I mean, the guys they got to make it in the Antic, and they did this massive one with Google, this ARG, where everything's based in the real world, and you're actually having to go to these places and stuff like that. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of history from the developers of this kind of gaming. But yeah, it's primarily Pokemon, but around your city, and it'll tell you, like, there's Pokemon at this place, so you'll actually have to go there and walk around with your phone. So
you'll be caught in public doing this shit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People have been like warned off of in Australia, like say there was a Pokemon hidden in a police station.
Nice touch.
So obviously loads of people, to the point where the police are like, seriously, can you just piss off? We don't care if you've got Pokemon. This is a fucking police station. This is serious business here.
So what issues have they had with their launch?
Well, it's a lot of obviously server load.
Yeah.
There's been problems with the battery drain on a lot of devices, which is a known issue.
Look, I'm not being funny, but you're launching the first ever proper Pokemon mobile phone game, which requires interactivity in a whole new way.
Well, you're actually catching Pokemon in the wild.
So this is really...
Who's not going to fucking download that?
Somebody is going to fucking want that game, and the chance is it's a lot. Now, I personally have never been into Pokemon, but I know the fan base is fucking huge, like massive. So if I was doing that, I'd probably say, right, I need to make sure the back end of this is down pat.
I mean, how many just concurrent players do you think you would have at any one time?
Hundreds of thousands.
Oh, I'm thinking sort of tens of millions. You're thinking around the world?
Yeah, possibly.
Obviously, this is only in 3 regions so far. So obviously, you've got Asia, I think, and Australia.
They've paused their other releases, haven't they?
Yeah. So obviously the UK releases are.
Yeah, they've removed all sort of, because they had a schedule, and now they've just gone, no more until we fix things.
Yeah, which is a good thing, I guess. You've kind of got to rein it in at times.
But I'm just amazed they didn't at the beginning go, hold it, wait, lots of people are going to want this.
Yeah.
But
again, it's one of those, I think Nintendo, you can say they haven't really had a lot of experience with these kind of things, but this is obviously why they're partnering with people like Dina, or DNA, sorry, not Dina, I keep saying that. But they should say, no, seriously, guys, like,
this is Pokemon.
This is what you're going to have to potentially be putting up with, like, this many players at a time. You're going to need to spend the one Spondoolies.
If you're working in that group and you look around at everyone and you say, has anybody launched something with this sort of brand IP before to this capacity in this environment? And if everybody says no, you go, right, let's hold fire until we find somebody who has.
Let's go speak to Blizzard.
Yeah.
But again, they've had some issues over the past themselves.
Obviously,
Diablo 3 was a DRM mess.
It got messy.
Loads of people couldn't get on with the Error 37, which has now obviously spawned a classic meme.
Yeah.
Obviously, Halo Master Chief Collection, that's another one. Bungie, well, obviously it's 343. But again, Microsoft, one of the biggest fucking technology companies in the world, and they can't get their servers in order. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's when big names like that are doing it is a little bit worrying.
Drive Club was possibly the biggest shitstorm I've ever seen. in terms of a release of a game.
Why? What happened?
Just the sense that it didn't work. It was like, all right, finally, after a year and a half of delays, we finally released Drive Club. And again, we've talked about it before. If your game doesn't work right, delay it, make sure it works right, then release it. Okay, don't do that and still release a broken game. I mean, the fact that it couldn't get on, it was a solid game if you could play it. You just couldn't, there just wasn't the server space. And then obviously you had the whole shitstorm with, it was going to be a PlayStation Plus game and a free PlayStation Plus version. That got kind of maybe, sort of, hopefully.
Nope.
It did eventually come out, I believe. But it was fucking months and months later, and it kind of killed all the game itself.
So what about companies who take different approaches? So somebody who recently took a different approach to this was Rockstar with their GTA 5 online launch. So they specifically, right at the beginning, went, just to let you know, online multiplayer is not available day one. You're going to have to wait a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or was it?
No, it was a month.
Yeah, a month, I was going to say.
Yeah, because it released in September and then it was like the end of
October. Yeah. So, and they said, we need a bit of time to get this ready. Now, I think it's admirable that they kind of said, look, one, also, everyone's going to want to play this, so enjoy the storyline. But realistically, it's to give them time to get ready.
I think it was a case of, in those first 3 weeks, they know that how many players, if they're, say, talking, I reckon someone's gone in with a rough figure that 40% of people, again, I'm pulling these kind of fucking numbers out of my arse here.
Yeah.
So, like, 40% of people will try online. So, we'll see after 3 weeks how many copies we've sold.
Yeah.
And then we'll look at how many or how much server space and how much we're going to have to push into that.
They took that approach.
But someone's obviously fucked up with their numbers.
But they still fucked it.
Yeah. Well, it was a case of if you could get on, it worked. It was fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a bit janky, but it's I think it was just a case of there was a massive amount of stress on the server that they never actually anticipated.
But that's my point. That is exactly the fucking point. It's GTA and it's online.
And they'd made $1 billion in a day or 2 days. That says how fucking popular it's doing.
You might as well assume that you've got to buy all of a data centre to run this.
Yeah, basically just tap up the NSA. Just like, can we borrow your server for a minute? Your server farms.
Final thoughts. Is it reasonable that games are still getting released and they're running like pigs?
I think for the price of games, that we still are paying the same prices that we paid for 20 years.
A little bit more now, 50, 55?
No, but again, that's the recommended retail. If you're buying a digital copy off a store, which if you're doing that, you're a mug.
Heard it here first, folks.
But you can go online, you can find someone that will sell it for 37, 38. Yes, it's going to be like a couple of quid less or a few quid less, but they still, again, it's still around that kind of mark. How much for the cinema when you were a kid? And you sure as shit it's not going to be like 10% more than it was.
Yeah.
You're fucking talking it's double, if not triple, what it used to be. Whereas we as in gamers, I mean, this is something, I suppose it's a good thing, it's this sense of entitlement that because we're spending 40 quid that we've got to get this 400 hours out of this game. And
can I go on the record just to say, fucking right, I mean, if 40 quid was too much money back then, all because it's kind of reasonable now, doesn't mean that was acceptable. That takes the piss, man.
No, but you shouldn't be looking at it as this amount of time gives you value. You should look at it as have you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no,
I can go and spend 40 quid in 3 days, sort of eking it out over, and it's boring as shit. Or I can go down the pub and spend 40 quid in 3 hours
and watch me get shit-faced.
Yeah, and just have an absolute whale of a time. Obviously, that night, completely regret it a few days later when I'm still hungover.
Why did I pay to do this to myself?
But yeah, it's that perceived value thing. I mean, but it's just this sense of entitlement, the fucking outrage that the smallest things, that if they don't agree with it,
I will still stick to my point though that you can't fucking launch Pokemon on a mobile network for the first time and go, do you know what? We didn't realise how busy it was going to get.
But people will forgive them. People will forgive these.
Yeah, as soon as they get to play it. Yeah. Stop caring.
Cool. Or they don't get shot in a police station.
Yeah. So, final thoughts?
I think it's a case of stop being greedy assholes and stop worrying about your share prices. Release a game when it's fucking fixed properly, because I mean, even with all of this bollocks with the Pokemon Go and Nintendo, the share price has still gone up 10%.
Yeah, I bet.
So people know they're going to play it. If they turn around and say, hold your hands up, yeah, we fucked up. And that's the thing as well, a bit more transparency from these people. I mean, Rockstar were pretty quick to come out saying, look, we're really sorry, guys, we didn't anticipate it's going to be as popular as it was.
How many times have you heard that before?
Yeah, I know. But again, it's the PR line, isn't it? And you know that there's always some fucking bean counter at the end of it saying, no, you can't have that.
You don't need that many servers.
No, that's it. Wait till it's broken and then fix it. And again, it does have a negative effect, but is it that negative effect? Did you still play Battlefield 3?
Yes, I did, begrudgingly, but...
Did you still play Battlefield 4? Have you still played Diablo 3?
Yeah, but am I a reasonable gauge on this sort of stuff?
I don't know. Would you say would you call yourself an everyman or an average person, or would you say you're somewhat of an enigma? Maybe
I'd definitely call myself one of these dickheads who go, "Oh look, it's a game cover with a different design than I've seen before. How much is it? I'll take 3."
Do you watch The Big Bang Theory?
A little bit.
There's a bit where he's in the comic book store.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and he's like, have you seen this rare Aquaman statue? He's like, who cares? It's Aquaman. He's like, yeah, but it's rare. There's only, and it's a limited run. He's like, oh really? How many? He's like 10,000. He's like, He's like, oh right, okay, now maybe that's not for you. But have you seen this rare Batman squirt gun? And he's just like, really? How much is that? Talk to me about this squirt gun.
It's the same when they do the carpets as well. They're going on about like cowboys versus wizards or something like that. So who's going to pay for that? And within like a minute,
there's a badge.
They're all getting one.
Wand.
Damn it! Right, I'm going to Uncharted territory.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much there already, aren't we?
Yes.
Talking about TV programs and fucking whatnot.
Let's see how we get on. Uncharted territory. That wondrous journey through the wooded lands of unknown gaming topics. Pretty much the whole of the show.
Yeah. Well, there's bits that we do research.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
Yeah, exactly that. So, Link, we had some interesting news around No Man's Sky this week. Gone gold.
Yeah, we obviously got a nice little shot from the team with their master disc.
Yeah.
Saying obviously it's gone gold and it's gone off to obviously be pressed and purchased.
This is it.
Processed.
Which kind of made me think all of our hopes and dreams are currently being pressed into bits of plastic.
Is it? I don't know. Is it getting a physical release?
I did ponder that at the time. I did think, is this getting an actual physical hard copy release?
Because obviously you've got the special editions and the like super duper editions where you've got art books and whatnot, and I think there's probably one with vinyls because that's the thing now, isn't it? Especially all the music that's gone into this. I can imagine there's going to be some albums along the way.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got the tour, haven't you, from 65 Days of Static.
Oh, right, okay.
They're doing the No Man's Sky tour.
Good.
It's going to take them fucking 20 trillion years. There's a lot of stops.
Yeah, I bet. So, it made me pose the question to myself, okay, there's been lots of hype about this game.
Yes.
You've been kind of like, I guess, kind of like one of those rabbit toy dildo things that buzzes around. You've been super excited about it.
I've been excited. I didn't get super excited about anything because I've learned to temper my expectations. And
but on the Link excitement scale, this is taking you to your top end.
In terms of how excited I get out about anything, it's probably a 5. I don't really get too worked up about things nowadays.
But I think your 5s are 10s with most people because you don't get that excited.
No. So, I've been burnt too many times, Marty. See, that's all it is. Look, fool me once, shame on me, and all that rubbish and misquoting of proverbs.
Look, the important thing is No Man's Sky.
It's finally, yes, it's going to hit its date.
Is it going to give you what you want?
Well, this is the thing. I've obviously got a few little questions that I was sort of thinking about, and obviously the first one: will it actually be any good? Because as we've got closer and closer to the release date, we've heard a few more about what kind of game it really is. I mean, it's sort of like an exploration survival game more than anything. else. Obviously, it's not going to be like one of these rogue-like things where it's just like you get one life, get to the centre of the galaxy. Tough shit, just like, oh, you ain't ever getting there.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be a bit more forgiving than that. So obviously, you can still lose stuff, but it's a case of as long as you save regularly and not get into too many dickish moves and get yourself killed too many times, you're not going to lose all that much. Obviously, my next one was, will it live up to the hype? No, is obviously instantly, I know that. Will it live up to what I've hyped it up to, is another question.
Well, this is the exact question,
I've not hyped it up too much. I just know it's just... I mean, the thing for it, for me, isn't that it's going to be the greatest game ever, it's all that bollocks. It's just a fact of, from a sheer technological point of view, for 12 people to have built an entire universe. It's not a galaxy, it is a universe. That... I mean, admittedly, yes, the computer's done all the heavy lifting.
They built the algorithm.
But exactly, they still had to do the maths and all of the fucking programming and make it work. And for 12 people to achieve this is massive, massive event in terms of gameplay, of gaming in itself, the implications for that.
Yeah, but I'm not going to buy it based on the fact they've done this.
No.
I still want it to play good, you know. So for me, the question is, for example, when you get out of your ship and you walk around on the planet, is it going to feel right? Is it going to be like, yes, or you're going to be like, oh, that's a bit janky, let's get back into space?
I don't think it... Like, that, from all of the bits that I've read from it, it's it's solid in that respect. It's... I mean, to be honest, we've been, like, gaming in the 3D environment nowadays, like, a first-person shooter, that... It's not like we're just touching base here and getting the first steps into these genres. I mean, there's been a lot of iterations before, and we know how a good, solid first-person shooter works.
And what about sort of story? You know, is there some story behind this?
Well,
are we just walking along? What will keep us going?
It's that, I think, the initial drive to get to the centre of the galaxy. It's got almost that curiosity aspect to it. Yes, it's just fucking hitting blocks on a giant cube, and trying to get more cubes and getting rid of all of those cubes and finally getting to the centre of those cubes. But I'm still going to keep plugging away at those fucking cubes.
Fuck you, Molyneux.
Because obviously somebody did open it. So
and they got stiffed.
Yeah, massively. So we can obviously see from human curiosity and human nature that will obviously, there will be people out there that want to get to the centre of just because they need to know.
Is there any chance of actually meeting up with one of your friends in this?
I think it's one of those, once you start getting closer to the centre of the galaxy, once the distances themselves become a bit shorter, because you could potentially end up on the other side. You could be from one, like you say, one guy's on one side, on the north side of the galaxy or universe, for example, and you could be on the south side. So you've got...
See you never!
Yeah, basically. I mean, I was thinking that would be a great series, is just trying to meet up on a planet. Like, because you could find out where both of you were. You could find out, because if it had been a discovered planet, it would be then in the archives.
Planet Baron.
Exactly.
Dun dun dun!
Yeah. So you could then essentially task yourselves with getting to like a middle ground, and sort of like you used to do when occasionally you'd be like, I'll meet you at a service station, you can take them the rest of the way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, I remember my brother when I was a kid, he used to meet his girlfriend, because she used to live in somewhere like Surrey, and we lived in Dorset, and they used to meet up in the middle.
See, I just strongly encourage you guys to just basically post your bodily fluids to each other. It saves the journey, saves the argument.
Well, obviously this is pre-internet, so there wasn't anything. It's like pen pals is basically the next... Because you could never sit on a phone for 2 hours, because you'd always have nagging parents going on about how expensive the phone bill was.
God damn it. So, all in all, I mean, are you going to be buying this?
Well, this is one of my other questions that I've got, because obviously I'm worried that will it be we're talking about obviously network issues. Is there something else that will the servers be able to take it? Because this is a really massively anticipated game, so I can imagine it's going to be quite the day one seller.
But are you saving for a PlayStation 4?
Oh god, no! I've got other stuff to worry about buying at the moment.
Because we've got the PS 4.5 coming out.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about that. It means getting a better TV, and I can't be fucking asked for that. It's another $3,000 that I haven't got to want to spend on. So basically, I can care about all this 4K shit.
So for me, No Man's Sky personally is something which is just it's going to be like a special phenomenon of a game. It's going to be something like a journey, like a flower, like a whatever. It's going to be something that you're going to want to experience. But I just hope there's enough to it to make me continue to play it. And I get there's that bit that you may want to say, like, I'm going to name half the galaxy, or...
I mean, there's a lot of cool things about it that make you want to play it, but like you were saying earlier, I mean, will there be enough to keep you going? Because essentially it's going to be a very grindy game where you're going to have to go, alright, I need these resources to make this part for this ship so I can get to this part, so I can then go and grind some more resources so I can get to this, so I can make more fuel so I can get to this part of the galaxy, and keep going and going and going and going. I mean, I don't know personally if there's going to be enough to, like you say, keep you going and want to find the centre of the galaxy or the universe. I keep saying galaxy when it's a universe, but I don't know.
Be a guardian.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Like it's one of those that you sort of just think, why couldn't you like mix Destiny with this and it'd be the greatest game ever?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why couldn't we just go into the Marvel universe?
So basically, if I had £300 that dropped into my hand now, I'd probably go and buy a PlayStation 4 in readiness. But will I sort of force myself to eat just sort of beans on toast for a month so I can buy a PlayStation 4?
No.
Maybe, probably not. But yeah, because I don't like beans.
Damn you.
So I'm stuck. I'd have toast. That's nice, nutritious. Maybe.
Bread and water.
Basically.
Dripping if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Don't get me wrong. I'm really concerned about the amount of hype that this game's had. Really concerned about it.
It'd just be good to see that they're like with going onto planets, the giant sand ones, and then you go to a different part and they've just got these weird flat-headed things. I like the idea of that. And the fact that they're not just going to be like little Mario Galaxy kind of planets where it's just this like thing that you can run around in 30 seconds. I mean, it would take you days potentially to get around some planets.
Yeah, that's pretty serious. I mean, it's got some epic scale, hasn't it? That's the one. That's the
it's
given.
An unfathomable amount in really.
And space battles.
Again, I love flying around. I love all that shit. I love all flying and dogfights, and so that's got me tickled.
Yeah.
Like I say, getting in amongst it, and it's almost like this is the culmination of. Do you remember when Star Wars Galaxies come out? And it was so hyped up, and there was like literally you're dropped into the Star Wars universe. If you want to be a bounty hunter, you can be a bounty hunter. If you want to just be a trader, you can be a trader. If you just want to open a shop on Tatooine, you can open a shop on Tatooine. That kind of shit. And you're like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing in the world. I've got to get PC because I've got to play this, and this is going to be the greatest thing. I love playing. I love playing another game again. And then it comes out, and it's just like, oh, it doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
It's really buggy and that kind of annoying, and it's really difficult to get into, and it's hard to find out information, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
So it could go that way. I hope not, but it could be really sort of blaringly simple in terms of there's no real deep mechanics that get you drawn in, like with a great crafting system or something like that, like a lot of these survival kind of games do. But I don't know. I'm still sort of. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be really good, just because I like the sort of the attitudes of the people at Hello Games. I mean, they've gone for a hell of a lot to get this out. I mean, there's the fact that all of their studios got flooded a couple of Christmases ago.
Well, these guys have got some amazing pedigree, though, haven't they?
Well, they obviously they've got the Hello, not Hello Game. Thingy
Joe
Joe,
Danger.
That's the ones. See, they've released that literally on every platform imaginable.
Yeah,
but they've obviously Sean Murray himself. He obviously worked at Criterion for a bit. He's worked on a few big games. So there's some talented guys there. I
think they've definitely had like the heart of the community following them, haven't they?
Oh god, yeah. Especially like say with the floods that took out their offices, and obviously. I don't know how much of their work they had saved elsewhere. But
well, they said a lot of it. They said they felt like they were starting from scratch. Now, obviously, they weren't exactly starting from scratch, but I know it was a substantial step back for them.
Yeah. So you're probably talking a year's at this time that they've taken to develop it is probably because of that. But
do we have a release date?
Yes, it's August the 9th in America. I think it's August the 10th on the rest of Europe, and then August the 11th in
every other country. Oh, really?
Yeah. Because obviously, generally, you get the Friday releases, don't you? It's just certain ones do Tuesday. I don't know.
August
I can't
the
keep
11th.
up with all this bollocks.
Cool. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for where we're at, folks. So, Link, final thoughts on No Man's Sky?
I'm just trying to think whether I actually have to save up from PlayStation 4.
For me, it's lots of love going out to them. Hope it's going to be pretty cool. Right, I guess from Angry Link, it's going to be a...
Adios.
And from the Baron, it's... I'm out. Peace.